Hi, I'm John Sternal. Welcome to Guitar for Complete Beginners. Master the basics in minutes. This free guide is the perfect starting point if you're brand new to guitar. Everything you're about to learn comes directly from my best-selling full course, Guitar, Total Scales, Techniques, and Applications. Stick with me, and when you're ready for the complete system, I'll show you how to get it at the end.
Throughout this video, you'll learn all you need to know to survive in the world of guitar. By the most simplified definition, a guitar is made of 6 strings and several frets. The strings are numbered 1 through 6, starting with the thinnest string being number 1, through the thickest string being number 6. There is also a nut. The nut is sometimes referred to as the 0 fret or open. Frets are the bars that run across the fretboard horizontal to the strings. The frets are also numbered, starting with the nut being 0 or open. Most guitars have more than 20 frets. Guitars have bodies. They also have necks. Acoustic guitars have the same parts as electric guitars, such as the body, neck, and frets. Acoustic guitars have sound holes which produce pitch when the strings are played. When properly tuned, notes on both acoustic guitars and electric guitars are played the same way. Electric guitars will make a quiet sound on their own. Using a guitar cable, plug one end into the input jack of your guitar and plug the other end into the input jack on your amp. Here we are using an Epiphone Studio 15R, which features a high and low input. We will use the high input, giving us a louder signal. We are starting out with all of the controls set straight up to 5 o'clock. Many guitar amps feature an overdrive or boost button. When engaged, this increases the amount of distortion coming out of the amp. If you lower the gain, or in this case the drive control, the amp's tone will sound cleaner. The more gain you add, the dirtier the tone will get. Gain is also referred to as distortion. The level controls the volume for the overdrive channel. By disengaging the overdrive, the amp switches to the clean channel where level controls the volume. The equalizer allows you to adjust the tone of your amplifier. The Epiphone Studio 15R features 3 controls for treble or high frequencies, middle frequency control, and bass for the low range frequencies. If you set these straight up, you are running the amp flat, which means you are not giving or taking from the guitar tone. The reverb control allows you to add an echo effect to the guitar. The Studio 15R also features a loop to connect external effects, as well as an input for connecting stereo headphones. A typical blues amp setting would be drive to number 4, treble just past the 5 marker, middle almost to 6, and bass down to 4. Switch to the clean channel and the blues settings will work well for country music. For a common rock guitar tone, engage overdrive and set drive to 6 or 7, treble just past the number 7 marker, mid to 6, and bass to 7. For an extreme heavy metal guitar setting, turn the drive or gain all the way up. The clean channel is not used. For the EQ, set treble between 8 and 10, In metal, it is typical to cut the mids from halfway down to 0 for an extreme, and turn the bass up between 8 and 10. Now that your electric guitar is plugged into an amplifier, the volume and tone knobs help shape the sound of the instrument. The pickups are what capture the signal from the guitar and send them to the amplifier. This guitar is an Epiphone Les Paul standard. It features a solid mahogany body, flame maple top, and 2 humbucker pickups, the neck and the bridge pickup, giving this guitar great sound and massive sustain. To change pickups, this guitar features a 3-way toggle switch. In the up position, the neck pickup is engaged. In the center position, the neck and bridge pickup are engaged, and in the down position, the bridge pickup is on. You might use the neck pickup for playing chords and rhythm guitar. The middle will add some brightness to the chords or fills. And the bridge pickup is often used for leads. The bridge of the guitar is opposite the nut. If you play a note, in this case I'll play the first string, the string will vibrate, causing sound between the bridge and the nut. When you hold a fret, you are shortening the length of the string, and the sound now vibrates between the bridge and the fret you are holding. As you move your finger up the neck, the length of the vibrating string becomes shorter, causing pitch to increase to higher notes. Some guitars, like this Epiphone Futura Prophecy FX, feature a tremolo bridge or a whammy bar, which allows you to change the pitch of any note you're playing. Simply play a note, then dip the bar. You can apply subtle tremolo, fast tremolo, or go for a long dive. To learn more about using the tremolo bridge, we highly recommend Easy Whammy Bar Guitar DVD. The easiest way to keep your guitar in tune is to use an electric tuner. The tuner that I am using in this video is an Epiphone guitar and bass guitar tuner. It has a microphone that picks up the pitch of an acoustic instrument or a plug for electric instruments. To tune your instrument, pick an open string. If the display lights up to the left of center, that means your string is too loose and you need to tighten the tuning peg. If the display lights up to the right, it means your string is too tight and you need to loosen the peg until the meter lines up in the center and you're in tune. This tuner even features a 7th string option for 7-string guitars and also features a bass guitar option with the bottom set of controls. Playing in tune is very important for beginner guitarists. You want to develop a sense of pitch as soon as possible. So if you don't already have one, I highly recommend that you get an electric tuner. In case you don't have a tuner, tune to my guitar. Here is the first string, E, second string, B, third string, G, fourth string, D, fifth string, A, and sixth string the low E. You can also learn to tune a guitar by ear. For example, if your sixth string is in tune, you can use the 5th fret to tune the 5th string open. Play the 6th string 5th fret, then play the 5th string open, compare the two notes, and adjust the pitch of the 5th string to match that of the 6th string 5th fret by tightening or loosening the tuning peg. You can apply this to the 5th string 5th fret to tune the 4th string. When the 4th string is in tune, you could use the 4th string 5th fret to tune the 3rd string open. On the 3rd string, hold the 4th fret to tune the 2nd string open. And when your 2nd string is in tune, play the 2nd string 5th fret to tune the 1st string open. When sitting, you can rest your guitar on your lap. While certain styles of music prefer one leg to the other, in popular culture it has become acceptable to use either one. If you put your guitar on the same side as your picking hand, you'll be able to reach the open position easier. If you move it to the same side as your playing hand, this will put the guitar in a comfortable position for you to reach the higher frets. However, playing the open position becomes more of a stretch. Experiment with both and do what is more comfortable for you. You can also learn to play standing up by using a guitar strap to hold your guitar at your desired length. If you are just starting out, I recommend that you adjust the strap so the guitar is near the same position whether you're sitting or standing. You may find that picking becomes difficult if your strap is too long or too short. To correct this, adjust the length of the strap to your liking. For this section, I'll be playing an Epiphone Wilshire, which is a reissue of the 1962 model. The Wilshire features a neck that is set into the body of the guitar. Music is made on the guitar by simply picking a string. You can pick a string open without touching any frets or strings, or you can place one of your fingers directly behind a fret and pick that string. If the fretted note is dull or muted, check for these problems. First, is your finger directly above the fret wire? If so, move it back directly behind the fret, apply pressure, and pick the string. Second, is your finger too far back away from the fret wire? This requires a lot of unnecessary pressure. To correct this, slide your finger closer to the fret so it is directly behind it, apply pressure, and pick the string. That's all there is to it. If you could play this note, consider yourself a brand new guitarist. Here is your first finger placement exercise. Place your first or index finger directly behind the first fret and pick the first string. Place your second or middle finger in the second fret position and pick. Use your third or ring finger to play the third fret, then the fourth or pinky finger to play the fourth fret. For this whole exercise, my thumb is placed behind the middle finger, or second fret, in the center of the back of the neck. If you have smaller hands, you can move them up the fretboard where the frets are closer together. On the first string, move your index finger up to the 9th fret, Then play the same finger placement exercise. Forward, backward, and even on other strings. This video uses chord charts, traditional music notation, and tablature, also known as tab. This is a note chart. Each vertical line represents a guitar string. Each horizontal line represents a fret. Dots are placed on the note chart to show you which strings and frets to hold in order to play scales or chords. In some cases, like this example, hollow dots represent an open string. This note chart shows 3 dots on the first string. The dots represent the notes to play on the fretboard. To play the notes below, simply pick the first string open, then the first fret, then the third fret. You can also play it descending by picking the first string 3rd fret, then 1st fret, then open. Here we are using more than one string. To play the notes on this chart, pick the 2nd string open, 1st fret, 3rd fret, then switch to the 1st string open, then the 1st fret, then the 3rd fret. You can also play this descending by starting with the 1st string 3rd fret, then 1st fret, and open, then play the 2nd string notes, 3rd, 1st, then open. When notes are intended to be played on higher frets, the fret number is listed to the left or right of the chart. The previous exercise did not use fret numbers because the notes were near the open position or within range of the nut. In this exercise, the number 7 tells us that the lowest fret we use is the 7th fret. To play this section, start with the 1st string 7th fret, followed by the 8th fret, then the 10th fret. Or to play it descending, start with the 1st string 10th, then 8th, then 7th fret. This is a chord chart. It looks identical to a note chart, however it is played differently. Notice there is only one note on each string, where on the note charts there were 3 notes. Chord charts show you groups of notes that can be played or strummed together. Dots are placed on the chord chart to show you which strings and frets to hold to play a chord. Sometimes numbers are placed under the chord chart to show you which fingers to use for each note. This chord chart shows 3 X's and 3 O's. The X's mean you do not play the strings they line up with. The O's represent open notes for the string they line up with. To play the chord below, simply strum or pick strings 3, 2, and 1 so that they ring out at the same time. This next chart adds a fretted note. The new note would be held using your 1st finger on the 3rd string behind the 1st fret. To play the chord, strum or pick strings 3, 2, and 1 so they ring out at the same time. Here we are using all strings. The 6th or lowest string is open. The 5th string note is held down with your 2nd finger. 4th string note is held down with your 3rd finger. The 3rd string note is held down with your 1st finger. The 2nd and 1st strings are open. Strum or pick all 6 strings so they ring out at the same time. It is often necessary to hold down 2 or more strings with one finger. This technique is called barring. Chords using this technique are called bar chords. If you are having trouble with this chord, move on for now. In a few short sections, your fingers will be strong enough to play all of these chords. Just like the numbered frets for note charts, when chords are intended to be played on higher frets, the fret number is listed next to the chord chart. The previous exercise did not use fret numbers because the chords were all in the open position or within range of the nut. This exercise has us playing a bar chord on the 5th fret of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. Strings 4, 5, and 6 are silent. Tab is the easiest way to learn to read guitar music. The top line always represents the 1st string of your guitar. The 2nd line represents the 2nd string and on through the 6th string. And numbers represent the frets that you play. So if a number 1 is written on the top line of the tab staff, you would play the 1st fret on the 1st string. If a 1 is written followed by a 2, you would play the 1st fret on the 1st string followed by the 2nd fret on the 1st string. You can also play 2 or more notes together. On the tab, we see the 1st string is open and the 2nd string calls for the 1st fret. Place your index finger on the 2nd string 1st fret and position it so the bottom of your finger is not touching the 1st string. Then pick both the 2nd and 1st strings together. You'll be able to use this video even if you do not learn to read traditional notation. However, we have included an introduction in this section. Music is traditionally written on a staff. A staff consists of 5 lines and 4 spaces which represent the different notes of the musical scale. The notes represented on the staff come from our musical alphabet. They are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After the G note, the alphabet starts over with A. This also works in reverse if you are playing or writing the notes backwards. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, and so on. Guitar music is written on the treble clef. Whenever you see this symbol, the music can be played on a guitar. The notes of the treble clef start with E on the very bottom line. The space above E represents an F note. The line above F represents a G. Notes can extend above and below the staff by the use of ledger lines. There are also different versions of most notes called accidentals. Accidentals consist of sharps or flats. To make a note sharp is to raise it 1 fret on the guitar. To make a note flat is to lower it 1 fret on the guitar. One way of writing sharps or flats on the staff is to place the symbol before the note you want to change. Another way of writing sharps or flats is to use a key signature. Simply put, a key signature is a group of sharps or flats at the very beginning of a staff line. The sharp or flat note in the key signature indicates that all notes of the same name will be altered throughout the piece of music. If the key signature has a sharp symbol on an F, you are to play F sharp in place of F for the remainder of the piece of music unless otherwise indicated by another accidental symbol. When a sharp or flat note needs to be changed back to its original non-accidental state, a natural symbol is used. Most guitar music uses both tablature and staff notation, which allows you to choose which method of reading you would like to use. Some guitar music uses all 3 methods. In this example, you can choose between the note chart, standard notation, and tab. All 3 methods indicate the same chord. Bar lines are the vertical lines that divide tablature and staff music into sections. The measure is the space between bar lines. Music is the combination of time and sound. By changing the speed at which a note or group of notes is played, or the length the note is held, you are controlling the timing. Each measure uses an equal set of beats. The amount of beats is determined by the time signature. For example, in 4/4 timing, each measure equals 4 beats. In 3/4 timing, each measure will equal 3 beats. In 2/4 timing, each measure will equal 2 beats. The most popular time signature is 4/4 timing. 4/4 timing is also called common time and is sometimes identified with a letter C in the time signature. Another way to identify 4/4 timing or common time is to leave the time signature blank. The tempo of a song determines how fast or how slow each measure is counted. For example, 40 BPM means you would count 40 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 80 BPM means you would count 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 160 BPM means you would count 160 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are many different timing notes. For starters, the whole note equals 4 beats, or one whole measure in 4/4 timing. The half note equals 2 beats. The quarter note equals 1 beat. The importance of timing cannot be stressed enough. Music is the study of time and sound. Anyone can make noise by hitting random notes on an instrument. A note or a group of notes must be structured with timing to become music. For this reason, every exercise on this video will be played with a slow and a fast tempo. This section includes a comprehensive look at the fundamentals of the guitar. I am of strong belief that musicians should know their instruments, and you as a guitarist should know your guitar. The musical alphabet consists of 12 notes. A sharp and B flat, B, C, C sharp and D flat, D, D sharp and E flat, E, F, F sharp and G flat, G, G sharp and A flat, and A again. Notice that the 2nd, 5th, 7th, 10th, and 12th notes have 2 different names. For example, the 2nd note can be an A sharp or a B flat. It is the same note, but it has 2 different names. The notes A, B, C, D, E, F, and G are called basic or natural notes. The notes A sharp and B flat, C sharp and D flat, D sharp and E flat, F sharp, G flat, and G sharp and A flat are called accidentals. Each of the 6 strings of the guitar have been assigned a specific note. The 6th string, which is the top and heaviest string, is an E note. It is called the low E string. When this string is played open, no frets, no fingers, it will produce an E pitch. Each fret after that will bring you to the next note in the musical alphabet. If you play the 6th string 1st fret, it will produce an F note. The 2nd fret will produce an F sharp or G flat note. 3rd fret will produce a G note. Next, a G sharp or A flat note. Then A. The 6th fret will be an A sharp or B flat. The 7th fret is B. The 8th, C. And on through the alphabet as you travel up the frets. Once you reach the 12th fret, the musical alphabet will repeat itself, starting with E. The 5th string open is A. The 4th string is a D note. The 3rd string is a G. 2nd is the B string. And the 1st string is the high E string. Altogether, starting with the 6th string, the open notes are E, A, D, G, B, and E. For your reference, a fretboard note chart has been included in the bonus section of this video. Positioning of your hands is very important when playing the guitar. Pay close attention to this section and get in the habit of keeping your fingers and hands in the proper positions at all times. Hold your pick between your thumb and index finger. The tip of the pick should be pointing in the direction of your index finger. Always alternate your picking strokes, down, up, down, up. Bend your wrist or your elbow when you're picking. Avoid any movement of your thumb or index finger. Your other three fingers should be rolled into your palm or stretched out and braced against the body of your guitar below the first string. You can also use these fingers to mute the strings you are not playing and prevent any unwanted notes from ringing out. If you are a beginner guitarist, or if this is a new technique for you, take some time to practice it. The following exercises will help you develop a good picking technique. For this first exercise, we will play the first string and let it ring out for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then move to the second string for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep playing through all 6 strings. When we get to the 6th string, we will turn the exercise around and work back to the first string. Let's start out with a very slow tempo of 40 beats per minute, or 40 BPM. Then we'll double the speed and play it at 80 BPM. This next exercise has us play each string on the 1 and 3 count. Starting on the first string, pick down on 1 and hold for 2, pick up on 3 and hold for 4. Move to the second string, 1, 2, 3, 4, then through all 6 strings and back. Here's the exercise with a slow and fast tempo. For this next exercise, we will pick a note for each beat. First string, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move to the second string and be sure to alternate your picking strokes. Down, up, down, up. To the third string, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on to the sixth string and back. Let's play it with the tempo. Get in the habit of positioning the fingers of your playing hand 1 fret apart each. On the 6th string, press down on the 1st fret with your 1st finger, 2nd fret, 2nd finger, 3rd fret, 3rd finger, and 4th fret, 4th finger. When you are not playing a note, your finger should remain in this position 1/2 inch above the strings. This positioning should be used anywhere on the fretboard. So if you move your hand up the neck, your fingers will stay 1 fret apart each. Always keep your thumb in contact with the neck, even when you are not playing any notes. The best position for beginner players is to keep your thumb behind your middle finger in the center of the neck. Many guitarists allow their thumb to hang over the top edge of the guitar. There are some techniques that require this positioning, but overall it will slow you down when you are starting out. I recommend that you learn your first few songs with your thumb in back of the neck, which will help you build finger strength. This is the really easy section to help you build up to playing full chords and notes on every string. Each lesson is played slow, then fast, with each new section increasing speed. If you decide to skip ahead and later find that you are having difficulty playing something, then you might want to come back to this section to get your fingers in shape. If you are just starting out, I recommend that you play through this section at least once, no matter how easy you find the first few lessons. For this exercise, we are going to play notes on the 1st string only. Here we are only going to use our 1st and 2nd fingers to play these notes. This is called the half-step song. A half-step is the distance of 1 fret on the guitar. So from the 1st fret to the 2nd fret is a half step. The 5th fret to the 6th fret is a half step. From the 12th fret to the 13th fret is a half step. And even if you change strings, a half step is still 1 fret distance. Let's begin with a step-by-step approach to playing our first song. It is very important to use proper picking and finger technique. First, we'll slowly go through the song, making sure to use the correct fingers for each note. Then we'll play it at 2 different speeds. In this exercise, the first note is an F on the 1st fret. It is played with a downstroke. In the second measure, we see our second note is an F sharp note, played on the 2nd fret, using your 2nd finger, and picked with an upstroke. In measure 3, we play a G note by moving our 1st finger up the guitar neck to the 3rd fret, and pick with a downstroke. Measure 4 is a G sharp note, played with your 2nd finger on the 4th fret, and picked with an upstroke. Then, for the big ending, we drop down to the open E note, played with a downstroke, no frets, no fingers, followed by the last note, F, 1st finger, 1st fret, played with an upstroke. For most of this song, your thumb will be behind the 2nd fret on the back of the neck. But when you play the G and G sharp notes and slide your 1st finger up to the 3rd fret, your thumb will follow by sliding up as well. Then back to the original position for the ending. Also, the whole song builds up with half steps, 1 fret each. Then ends with half steps, right where we started by dropping to the open E, then ending on F. You can see in the sheet music all of the notes or timing values in this song are whole notes. As we discussed earlier, a whole note is held for 4 beats. Now that we have dissected this position and learned the correct fingering and picking, let's play along with the tempo. First, we'll start out very slow, then we'll speed it up a bit. Here's the half-step song at 40 beats per minute or 40 BPM. The drum machine will count us in with a 4 count, then we'll start playing together. How did you do? Were you able to let each note ring out for a full 4 count? If not, remember to keep your fretting finger directly behind the fret wire. This requires the least amount of strength to hold down a note. Here's the half-step song, played at double the tempo, 80 BPM.
Congratulations on completing the beginner guide. If you've enjoyed this and want to take the next big step, mastering every scale position across the entire fretboard, plus all the techniques and real song applications, then my complete course is exactly what you need. This is a Guitar, Total Scales, Techniques, and Applications, my best-selling 25th anniversary edition. It's available right now as an instant digital download. Click the link in the description to grab your copy and keep the momentum going. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to see how far you take your playing.